Sorry, Kat, welcome back to me, welcome back to Thailand, welcome back to Subaru Thai here in Thailand, in a very, 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 very cold Thailand, very, very cold. Now people are going to sit there and say, because I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning, freezing cold, a light was turned on, what's it going on, I just couldn't get to sleep, I had to listen to LB, and he was telling me about the weather in England, it was 1 degree, and that's fine. So of course, if I'm telling you about about 20 plus degrees in Thailand, 21 degrees and something like 22 degrees, you're going to sit there and say, what? That's hot. Kid you not, when you're used to 35 degrees, every day, 35 degrees, sorry, and I feel like temperature of 40 degrees, right? Okay, going down 20 degrees, you feel it, you really, really do. And right now, it is a very cold day. It's very cloudy, very windy, and very cold. I've even got 2 t-shirts on today. Normally I wear one, etc. I was even looking for my Christmas jumper, my Man City Christmas jumper, which I normally wear. Last time I felt it was this cold, etc. It was in January, a couple of years ago, and in January it's normally for instance the turn of the new year, etc. It normally gets quite cold, but I've never known it to be as cold as this in Putikayon, what's it called, in November. But yeah, it's Thursday morning, by the way. Sorry, Parahasapodi. Yeah, feels like a Friday, but I don't know. So forgive me, or do forgive me. So, but yeah, so I even got the light on here, even though it's mid morning here, 11:30. Anyway, so I hope you're doing well. So yeah, listening to Typical City here, Johnny Typical City, and because the football's back. The Arsenal fans are crying, United fans are crying, Liverpool fans are still crying, Arsenal, yeah, for City, you know, and again, this is the fun at the moment. It's funny, but it's also quite sad, and also, for instance, I'm just going to, the Football Terrorist. I was listening to Terry yesterday, for instance, on the Football Terrorist. And I normally don't subscribe to United channel. I just don't. Bitter, nasty people, for instance. And but I've been listening to him on more than one occasion, talking about United. So, for instance, if I talk about other, and he's very diplomatic and quite. So I've been quite when he talks to LB and he talks to other. I know he's a United fan. Okay, but the thing is. The crying of what's it called? This former referee, gone on this overcrap thingy. And big up to Luke. I swear to God, Luke. If I was there, I'll be. Honestly, for instance, I'd be walking around with a machine gun. Honestly, I couldn't take the listen to that crap, etc. What's it called? They talk about that. On there. Anyway, so give a big up to him and his temperament, etc. I just could not do it. Anyway, so I'm listening to Rooney and then listening to the referee, former referee, for instance, going on about the game 93-20 again, and saying that, for instance, you know, in United, it was a conspiracy theory. You knew they were going to score, blah blah blah. Well, you know, tell me that day, for instance, I was sat on row 1, about fourth row in on that day, on the end row, on the end seat, and I was sat there, right, and the guy behind me was a good lad. He was all right, but he had a horn. He beep beep beep, one of these horns, etc. That's the reason why when I got that seat, etc. I couldn't believe it. Wow, I'm row 1, etc. This far, you know, I'm right in the middle, and I didn't realise why nobody wants to take up this seat, and then to realise this guy's got a beep 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 horn. Anyway, but he was a top guy, and anyway, so. And what's it called? And his friend as well. I think his sister. So what's it called? Lovely lady. So what's it called? I think she had Down syndrome or something like that. But never mind. But she was a lovely girl. Anyway. So and I remember we stood there, and I could always remember people leaving. I remember what's it called when Dzeko scored the second goal. For instance, to make it 2-2. I remember, for instance, I sat there. I didn't even cheer. Because, quite honestly, all I got into my mind that we've lost the game. And then when the ball came over for the throw-in, 1 minute did I think, even though I knew that, for instance, QPR was safe, not 1 second that went through my brain, the people next to me, anywhere around, saying that, City are going to score. You know, no way. We fought with typical City, we fucked it up, everything like that. So, and I was upset, to say the least. I was really upset. So So, and after the game, and after we scored, and I couldn't believe it, and this guy came stood behind me, was shaking me like this. We won, we scored, we won. And it took me a good thing, and I was cheering, and I was happy, and I was like that, and I couldn't believe it. But it took me and a friend and a couple of friends to go and leave the party afterwards. You know, we went to back to the Bredbury, what's it called, Bredbury Football Club, not Bredbury Football Club, the Woodley, in Woodley, for instance. It was a big pub, etc. It was a big city pub, and we went there afterwards. What's it called? And we left to go find a small pub in our local pub, etc., which I haven't, and it was where United fans were there and everything, Liverpool fans were there, and we sat there for a good couple of hours waiting for the game and to start, and so what's it called? Because we wanted to watch it, the highlights, and then we watched it again, and we watched it again, and we watched it again, and to this day we still don't believe, right, that we actually won that game. To this day, right? If you ask me, did we win 93-20? Yes, of course we won it. What's it called? But to this day, my brain says we've lost it. We lost them 93-20, right? So to sit there and say it was a conspiracy theory that we knew that we were going to score, we knew that not one Man City fan knew that we was going to go score that day and to make it 3-2. No way. And the fact that the way the goal was actually structured, it was to Balotelli to Aguero, who could have got fouled in the penalty area. No way. So to sit there, listen to bloody overlap, etc. Listening to Rooney, listening to United fans, bitter, and still saying that, for instance, it was it was a conspiracy theory. They knew that they were going to win. Everybody hated United. It's just a joke and a half. It really is. And then and this is it is just propelled by the mainstream southern-based biased media, because a lot of United fans work in there, and for instance, so those Southerners or whatever, that kind of thing, and they're still bitter over that, and to listening to, and I thought Terry on the Football Terrorist was a decent guy, and to listen to him with this guy who was talking to yesterday, talking about that game, etc., as it was a conspiracy theory, as if at that blah blah blah, as it was, I agree with Rooney. How the bleeding hell can you do that? And it just says to me, in 1972 I sat on a train with my father in Manchester Piccadilly, and me and my father didn't get on with each other at all, and the mere fact that my father was begging me, me and my brother, to be a Man City fan, and we were so close to becoming a United fan. I am so happy that, for instance, I made up my own mind and agreed to be a Man City fan, and and the rest is history. But the mere fact that we had to get over the Rooney overhead kick, and how many times was that shown on TV? We had to get over the Owen goal, the last minute goal in the derby, for instance, the last minute, and to get over that one, and we had to get over that. So, for instance, but we did, as people, as football fans, and as honourable football fans, as Manchester City fans are, majority of them, and as City fans are, even though the Pep outers have got on my nerves, even though I don't look at them as City fans. But to sit there and say that, for instance, right now, 13 years on, that goal was not was a rigged game and blah blah blah. It just makes me sick. It really does. It really does. And I listen to Arsenal fans, whatever, going on about how the referee, it's Michael Oliver now, he's suddenly become a Man City fan, and it is just pure bitterness. It really is. And to disrespect, to come out, I just don't understand why they get it. Be a man, stand up and be a man and say that. There's the reason why. Because I was listening to Arsenal fan TV, and he was asking two guys, an older guy and a younger guy. The older guy, for instance, he said, "Are you worried about Man City?" And he said, "Yes, I'm worried about Man City, and I've got reasons to do so in the past." Okay, right, okay, fine. When he spoke to the younger guy, "Oh no, yeah, of course, yeah, blah 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 blah," he was talking about all kinds of crap, which he was talking about, and how the fact that he knew, by the way, Liverpool's transfer window was bad. He knew that Liverpool would never win the league. That Liverpool, I've always been saying that Liverpool's transfer window was bad. I'm sorry, but when he was talking about City, he was just so totally disrespectful. You know, and then talking about Haaland as well. Oh, this robot, this machine, this blah blah blah. He's a man. He's a human being, a young man who's good at his job. Simple as that. He's not a robot. He's not a cyborg. He's not saved from Carpathian from God knows the Ghostbusters. He's a human being doing good at his job. And I'm so sorry, a poll there. Who would you rather have, Harry Kane or Erling Haaland? Oh, Harry Kane. He's a more of a rounded footballer. Blah blah blah. They would just say anything because of the bitterness of it's coming out. The fear of the fact that last season we were dead in the water. Manchester City were dead, we're gone, we're finished, we're falling off the cliff, we're boom, 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 boom. And the mere fact that now Man City are the sharks, in the water, coming up right behind them. And let's go then, for instance, Arsenal fans are now sat there going, oh Jesus, give them back, oh they're coming back, oh no. And now they've lost Gabriel. Even though they've got the world's best football inside, even got the best players are going to them. So it shouldn't matter losing one player because they've got all the players, haven't they? They've got the Bills' best squad, haven't they? Going to them. And then now they're sat there going, oh my God, the shark is here, the shark is splashing around in the water trying to get back. Honestly, so for instance, and when you're listening to the Arsenal fans, oh God, it's unbelievable. United fans still salty. Oh, that was it. There was an Arsenal fan. He's talking about the goal that never was for Liverpool, and about that. Oh, that was going to be that was a game changer. Oh, what's it called? It would have sparked Liverpool into this. And even though Robbie gave him credit, he said no, Man City were plummeting Liverpool last week. What's it called? Against Liverpool, and he couldn't have it. He couldn't get his brain. Couldn't sit there and go, oh yeah, Man City were the better team by far. Just like against United, just a couple of days ago, for instance, Man City against United with the ladies. The media still didn't get. Oh, there was United coach. Oh, I thought we equalled Man City. No, you didn't. Man City were better. The better team. Man City ladies won 3-0 and deserved to do so. So why the bleeding hell are you talking about? Or the fact that it was a closer game? It wasn't. You didn't even have a shot on goal. But then again, we'll talk about Manchester City, but we'll talk about, and then you have this Arsenal fan talking about how the fact, and people are going to say to me, well, why do you bother with it? It's not the fact I'm bothered about it. It's the fact that I just want conjecture. I want understanding. I want, and not listen to a lot of people, for instance, who, and I had the opportunity to turn it off, etc. But I'm trying to be level-headed. I'm trying to keep on the ground like I am as a City fan and especially when I do this channel, to be level-headed, on the ground, on whatever, and then to listen to other people's point of view. But when you listen to other people's point of view and you sat there going, what the flipping hell are you talking about today? You want a footballing perspective, and not City are back because they always are. City are back because they got the most money. City are back because of they've got that Pep Guardiola. City are back because of the 115 charges. City are back because of Erling Haaland is a cyborg capable of. City are back not because Man City are a good football inside. No, that never goes out. No. It's just that. Oh, it's Man City. It is just this. It's this patheticness. It really does. It just bores me. What's it called? It really is, and you can't help but just go and scream. And I'm not surprised. John at Typical City. I was listening to LB last night, for instance, this morning, 4 o'clock this morning, and he was talking about, and he had fans going on, and he sits there and he wants to listen. But to sit there listening to fans talking about the conspiracy theories, the referees, and what the hell's he doing, going on the overcrap, etc., talking puke like that? It's not. It's just his reputation's going to go downhill because the only person who's going to believe him is Jamie Carragher, Gary, I Hate England, Neville, and for instance, and then bitter Rooney. What's it called? The bitter United fans. What United fans are and players bitter. Simple as that. And and so happen. It's mental. To me, it's mental. You've got to be better. You've got to stand up and be a better man. And stand up and say, and the better team won. And just, yeah. So what's it called? Regardless, let's move on a little bit. So Sam Barrett will be the referee. I wonder if he's a City fan. What's it called, for the Newcastle game on Sunday? Saturday, sorry. Sunday for me, Saturday for you guys. Other news, Victor Reese has been in the headlines. Appears that, for instance, he's doing quite well at Girona. For instance, we've got these wonderful defenders, because there's a lot of talk about Nathan Aki might leave in January. Doubt it, but you never know. But we've still got these young defenders, Juma Bar, Victor Reese, and who else? It's a couple upcoming defenders, etc., doing very well, so they might be coming back into the team. So, but there's a lot of talk about them at the moment, which I look forward to. Calvin Phillips, what's it called? There's an interesting, the reported move. He might be going off to either probably a loan move. I can't see to Wolves. I can't see Wolves paying his price. Going to Wolves, which is because they've got a new manager now. For instance, we're a family. I'm going to stay in Middlesbrough forever. Poof, off he goes. So for instance, it'd be good for Calvin to get some game time going for some other club. I don't like to see players. I want him and Ortega. With Ortega. Like talk about Ortega as well, to go out and do, I don't like good players, sat on the bench all the time. This man, Mr. Phil Foden, looks like he's talks about contract talks at the moment. Man City opened contract talks with Phil Foden, I think that should be quite an easy one, straightforward one, and hoping Rodri signs his contract as well. He did a great little chat with captain's chat with Bernardo Silva this week on City, and I thought that was good. That wasn't a kind of little game competition. What do you like? What do you don't like? I thought a lot of it was all about a captain and what is the importance of being a captain. What do you need? And I thought the answers they're given, even though it was quite light-hearted, I thought it was a very interesting chat. Being a captain, I thought it was really, really interesting, and none of them English. One's Portuguese, one's Spanish, but the knowledge of English is excellent. Let me just play this, and normally I don't do this, I'm going to play this. This is the 1894, and they're talking about the North Stand, and so for instance, I hope you can hear this. It's going to affect the amount of seats. Are they going to be? Is it going to be full? For instance, at on a 3 o'clock on a 7:30 kickoff on a cold wintry night, for instance. Again, for instance, behind the back of the goal. It's all right bringing in more money to the club, but I think Man City fans, we were told it was going to be a blue wall, but now it's not going to be. Now it's going to be a lot of corporate seats. And even I was watching the game against Liverpool, for instance, 10 minutes into the game, the corporate sites behind the back of opposite the cameras, etc., was not full. So, for instance, it just looks bad for the club. It really does. You see it all the time at Wembley, and you just can't stand it. And for instance, when you're watching the game. So it really, really upsets me. It really does. I'm just going to jump on something else. I saw something else yesterday I thought was quite interesting. I'll just read to you before we go. This was Viagogo, the new ticket in shed. Let me just read this. Viagogo was under investigation. Manchester City supporters groups call for suspension. On the 27th of March 2025, City proudly announced a global partnership with Viagogo, describing them as a trustworthy distributing platform, a description at odds with the experience of many football fans and concert goers who consider them to be a legalised touts. A few days later, Man City fans group organised a huge, successful and very well supported protest within the stadium as fans feared the worst of terms of ticketing prices and worried about the club's reputation would be damaged by this association. The action, if it received received strong support from the Football Supporters Association, who described the Premier League as being happy to cozy up with companies who are interested in making money and exploiting fans. Loyalty. This morning, Tuesday, 18th of November, the corporation and market authorities believe that they have opened investigation into a wide range of companies, including Viagogo, online overpricing practices. Whilst an investigation is ongoing, we urge the club to follow good practices and suspend Viagogo official partners status and temporary halt all business arrangements with the company, especially relating to match tickets under the investigation and the outcome is until the outcome is known. Anything less would be a snub to match going fans and display a complete lack of judgment and integrity about the club's official responsibility for holding the good name and the reputation of Man City Football Club and its supporters. Yeah, right. And I heard the government in the United Kingdom, are talking about ticketing prices. Now they're cracking down on scammers like Viagogo, and Man City fans have been saying it for a long time. And now we've got 8 ticketing websites. I know they don't want empty seats. I know blah blah blah, etc. But I know they're trying to. If people don't go, then whatever. And but I'm part of that, because when I had my season card, I was living in Denmark, etc. I was living overseas. My seat never got taken, but I used to sell it to the City Football Group. City Football Scandinavian football supporters. Anyway, so we had our own little thing there. But sometimes my seat never got sold, so it was empty seats, should I say. So, but anyway, but I know they're trying to now do whatever they can, but you've got to be careful, for instance, who you get on board. And a company like Viagogo, for instance, who generally knows that sells tickets for ridiculous prices and pockets some money. Money doesn't go to the club, money doesn't go to the fans, money doesn't go to anybody apart from Viagogo in their back pockets. It really is, and it's just a scam. So it was good to see that, and I hope the government crack down and on touting websites like Viagogo, because again, fans should not be exploited. For instance, to get a ticket. If I want to go to the Etihad now, if I go off to England and get to the Etihad, and for instance I want to go see a game, I don't want to be paying double the 40 for 3 times, 4 times the amount just because of it's Viagogo, blah blah blah. Anyway, guys, it's so we'll wrap it up there. So yeah, so a few interesting points to talk about there. Again, so and a few rants, but again, I always hold myself to the highest level of integrity. I really do. I think you can be a scumbag, you can be a criminal, you can be whatever, but it's not going to get you far, etc. And at the end of the day, you've got to look in the mirror and say yourself, etc. For instance, you've got to identify yourself as a human being and say, this is me, and this is where I want people to see, and even just for your own personal integrity. And as far as I'm concerned, listening to what Arsenal fans and Liverpool fans and United fans grumping about games, this should have gone in, that should have gone in, forget it. And then the club employing, for instance, exploiting fans by moving them out of their seats for more corporate seats, and the Viagogo websites, etc. For instance, and it's just wrong, and it should not. Fans should not be exploited, and so it just drives me mad. And people, we need more integrity in the world, and honesty and integrity. And if you haven't won, just be gracious. And so, for instance, because we've had years of it as well, so what's it called? And yeah, so, but anyway, hi guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. True blue tie from Thailand, very cold Thailand, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.